Hello everybody and welcome back to Hakuoki. You probably know what's going on. If you don't, you maybe should go back and watch the other videos. Regardless, moving on. No news of my father came forth the other day, and somber restlessness took hold of me. Originally, it seemed Hijikata granted me approval to accompany the captains on their rounds through Kyoto to search for my dad. Then he called me in. Oh? What's happening? Excuse me. I saw Okita and Heisuke had been summoned along with me, and I felt a partial sense of relief. I did a little wait, what? Oh, it did little... I read that really wrong. It did a little to calm my chattering nerves. What? That seems... the A should just be completely omitted, in my opinion. It did little to calm my chattering nerves, and I didn't want to be in a bad spot with Hijikata. You called me? Hijikata seemed to be in a foul mood, so I decided it was best to act with tact in his presence. I was thinking about the search for Kyoto, but maybe it's best to put a halt to it for now. What? But why? We just started looking for him. Stopping now would surely cause any of our leads to run dry. His words stunned me. How could he back out on this? Hijikata remained deeply composed. We have reports of activity from the Choshu, and they don't bode well for us. It would be highly dangerous for you to be out and about. I'd heard of the warriors of the Choshu domain associated with the Imperial Nationalist Party. Oh, associate. Oh, they associate with the Imperial Nationalist Party. I see. Imperial Nationalist Party, a term for those who wanted to see the Emperor as the supreme power of Japan, and also hoped to remove the foreign influences from the country. Oh, from what? From what country? Also hoped to remove foreign influences from the country. Oh, I see. Also known as the Sonjo faction. Cool. For some reason, they find foreigners repulsive, using brute force to prevent any foreign presence. That's a lot. All of their faith is aligned with the Emperor. The Shinsengumi, on the other hand, serve the Shogun, meaning they are directly opposed. If the Choshu is active, it could mean that my own goal is of little concern to the Shinsengumi. I might become something of a burden to them. So, are you asking me to refrain from joining the rounds until things with the Choshu domain settle? Hijikata nodded and turned towards the two men. That being said, as of right now, she is not to accompany any rounds with any captains. Oh, I get it now. That's why you pulled us in here, right? Heisuke seemed 2 steps behind Hijikata's words, until the very moment where it seemed to click. You know, she never caused any trouble during any of the rounds she joined us in. Kinda feel like it shouldn't be a problem if she tagged along. Yeah, even if something were to happen, as long as she doesn't get involved, it should be fine. I mean, it's not like she can run away from us if things get sticky, right? I won't run. I knew he wasn't being serious, but I couldn't stand to keep my mouth shut. I made up my mind the minute the men of the Shinsengumi agreed to help me find my father. I made a vow to never run from the Shinsengumi for as long as they help me find my father. My desire to find my father should... Can you say find my father more? Like... Okay. Sorry. Repeating myself annoys the ever-living snot out of me. My desire to find my father showed no signs of slowing ever since I first arrived in Kyoto. I will keep my vow, so please allow me to continue looking for my father. I bowed to Okita, keeping my eyes locked with his. His smirk, however, shrunk slowly as he gazed towards me, caught in between words to say, "If you stay with us, you're putting yourself at risk. If you want that risk, feel free to join us." I mean, we have witness reports that fit the profile and description of Kyoto. You may have a point, but are witness reports enough justification to put her in harm's way? What if you're wrong? What if she's exposed? Do none of you understand? You're placing an unnecessary burden on yourselves. I promise I won't cause trouble. Please, if I lose the opportunity to search my father, then the chances of finding him will sink. I lied to prostrate before him, and Hikata simply sighed heavily. Lied? I'm confused. Whatever, it's super unimportant. You'd better follow the orders of every captain you join. No ifs and ands or buts. Am I clear? Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I didn't know how else to show my gratitude, so I bowed deeply again. I'm leaving it to your discretion over whether or not you're going to join them. That's on you. All right. I had to make sure this was the best decision. There was something in his demeanor that made me unsure of my desire to leave the compound. Still, if I was with Okita or Heisuke, I'm sure I'd be safe and well protected. On the other hand, my presence could be an undue burden on them. What was I to do? Okay, honestly, I suspect this is how I've gotten somebody killed in the past. It was this choice here. So, I'm going to remain in the compound and see if that changes anything. Because I really don't want to kill that person again, and we'll see. We'll see. I don't actually know if the death is scripted. I'm pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure you could avoid it. After contemplating, I decided to stay in. I couldn't convince myself that I wouldn't be a burden to them during dangerous situations. Ugh. Still, it was disheartening to think about. Another dull day spent inside. Throughout the past 6 months, I was allowed to finally search for my father on the rounds, and I felt like part of the house by contributing. Even though sometimes I was occupied with cleaning or cooking, it seemed like I was serving my part to the Shinsengumi in a meaningful way. I spent most of my time with the captains, but there were many opportunities to chat with warriors and come to know them as real people. Maybe they were starting to think of me as a warrior in training rather than Hichikata's page. These worrying thoughts made me so anxious I was turning numb. The idea that I had become so dependent on the Shinsengumi at this moment. What should I do today? I was resigned to the consequences of my decision, something that felt like I was wasting away the tender moments of my life in these headquarters. I was, in short, with nothing to do. All right. I decided to enter the inner courtyard, where maybe I could feel a pleasant breeze tingle my face in the shade. The quaintness may calm me down. Damn it. Alas, No wind blew through the courtyard today, no reprieve from the harsh sun bearing down upon its dry emptiness. That's really loud. I hope I didn't just get a weird end. I had a feeling it was going to be a bad day. Shade was the best I could hope for, it seemed. I sighed, sitting in whatever shade I could find. Something occurred to me as the sun roasted Kyoto. Oh, right. My father's been here, hasn't he? They'd mentioned it, but they hadn't really told me why. Was he tending to the injured, or perhaps educating the Shinsengumi on how to avoid illness? Maybe he intended to stay here long term. My father never mentioned to have been with the Shinsengumi. He had visited only a few times, or so I had been told, but he'd really been their doctor. Oh, if he'd really been their doctor, then he would have visited far more often, which left me with the question, why? It was extremely clear to me that the Shinsengumi had plenty of secrets, but I grew suspicious that these secrets deeply implicated my father as well. No, that can't be right, can it? I shook my head again, trying my best to dispel the dark thoughts taking shape. Is this that glasses guy who got his arm all wrecked? What can't be right? What can't be right? Okay, sorry. The apostrophe. It confused me. I understand he's quoting her. It is. He's so sad. I'm sorry. Ah! I spun around to find that Sanan had walked behind me, utterly undetected and unannounced. Oh, Sanan! Is it alright for you to be walking around? Please. Ugh, I'm no bedridden invalid. There's nothing wrong with me. There was a hint of coldness to his words. Although my left hand is something of an invalid. I couldn't bear to look at the sad, twisted smile he gave me. His arm hadn't healed, and it seemed certain now that it never would. The rest of the captains seemed sure that he would never be able to use his arm as soon as he had done before. And what are you doing? Are you allowed out of your room? You haven't been given run of our headquarters, I'm sure. I wasn't trying to quick load. You know what? I think maybe, hang on. What is it? Nope. I was gonna say maybe the quick load button is somewhere in the menu and the menu just seems to always be up, but nope. That's not true. I don't understand what's happening. It's very aggravating. But whatever. At least there's no quick save to load. We're just never gonna quick save ever again. Sound good? Sound good. Oh, I read that. Okay. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Oh, come on. Stop that. They usually let me walk around as I please, so long as I didn't go into anyone's room, but I knew that technically I was confined to my room. Any freedom given to me was simply a courtesy. In other words, Sanan was right. If he decided to chastise me for being in the courtyard, I had no reasonable response. There were some things I wanted to think about. I hoped the courtyard would be breezy. The moment the words were out of my mouth, I realized they sounded far more like childish excuses than a valid explanation. Okay, I thought Sanan was going to be kind of nice to me, but no, he's just being mean. Okay, whatever, Sanan. I don't care that you're sad anymore, you fucking jerk. When you sneak out without permission, it makes it seem like you have something to hide. I'm sorry. Still, I was beginning to grow accustomed to the subtle cruelty that seemed to accompany each word from Sanan's mouth. Alright, I'm going back to my room then. I turned and began to walk away. Sanon's unpleasantness had started after he was wounded during his trip to Osaka. He spent most of his time locked in his room now, and he was quick to lash out on others in response. I knew the loss of his arm hurt him more than I could understand, but I wished he would go back to being the warm, kind man he was originally. I turned around to see him still standing there. It's really hot out today. You should try and stay out of the sun. Please, take care of yourself. I gave him a nervous little laugh, and he responded with a chuckle of his own. His smile didn't look forced. Oh, that's kind of nice. Thank you. Take care of yourself as well. Okay. The Sanan I'd first met was still there. My spirits lifted, I ran back to my room. It was later that evening that the compound exploded with activity. I was walking down the hall when I heard footsteps and turned to see Nagakura coming towards me. Nagakura? What's that for? He glanced down almost absently at his hands, holding a candle and an exceptionally long needle. One of the Choshu guys we picked up isn't talking. Hijikata's gonna talk to him personally, but he said he didn't have the right tools and sent me to get these. I don't understand. Look, kid. Ignorance is bliss, alright? Don't think about it too much. He gave another bark of laughter, turned his back on me, and walked off. Is he gonna torture him by poking him with a needle and dripping candle wax on him? Because I feel like there are worse things to do to a person. But then again, being poked repeatedly with a sharp needle will probably get me to do whatever you wanted me to do. Probably. I mean, who knows? Can't really know until you're being poked over and over with a sharp needle, right? As the sun began to set, the activity in the compound reached a fever pitch. It was so busy, I couldn't even help with making dinner. The commotion was overwhelming. Heisuke! He shot past my door, then wheeled back around. What happened? All these men are running around. Any word from that Choshu prisoner? Yeah, that guy finally broke. Looks like they're having a meeting right now. We're getting ready for a raid. Oh. Heisuke went on to explain that the Shinsengumi would be splitting into 2 groups and searching locations at opposite ends of the city. Kondo would take 10 men to the Ikeda Inn, and Hijikata would take 24 to the Shikoku Inn. I heard they might be at the Shikoku. Gotta say, I'm kinda disappointed, kinda pissed the chief's sending me to the Ikeda. They'd send more men with Hijikata because they thought he'd be seeing action. Kondo and his men were to make sure they covered all their bases. You mean there aren't 40 men ready? Yeah, kinda sucks because there's so many men who get sick when we need them most. I'd known that the heat in close quarters made some men sick, but I hadn't known it was so many. Heisuke sighed. We sent word to the Aizu and the Judiciary Commissioner, but looks like they don't care. Huh. Aizu. One of Japan's most influential clans, they were related by blood to the Tokugawa clan and were put in charge of the office of the Kyoto Military Commissioner. Sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Unfortunately, there wasn't much I could offer him apart from sympathy. I had a feeling it was going to be a difficult night. After all the men capable of fighting had left for their respective assignments, Sanan called for me. Well, fucking good. I'm sure it was only out of courtesy, but the chief has asked me to protect the compound. Sanan's passive-aggressive attitude reared its head. It's mostly empty, of course, but someone may try to attack us for that reason. I must ask you to stay where I can see you. I may need to give you orders should the worst occur. Okay. I hesitated a moment and spoke. Does that mean you'll protect me? I wasn't sure why, but he laughed at that. Well, I should hope I'd be more use than the men who've been confided to their beds, at least. Was I supposed to be happy? His smile was so sad, I wasn't sure what to say. It seemed to hurt him most when the other men were out fighting and all he could do was wait. The silence between us stretched out until the door of our room suddenly opened without a sound. It's like I saw. Oh! Wait, they went to the wrong inn. They sent more guys to the wrong inn. Colonel Sanan, we've confirmed that the Choshu are meeting at Ikeda. The Ikeda Inn? Oh dear. That's less than desirable. The Shinsengumi have never been good with chance. His tone was light, but his face was serious, and with good reason. They'd been certain Shikoku was the right location, and had sent only half as many men to Ikeda. Yamazaki, can you do me a favor? The man whom he called Yamazaki nodded curtly. Right? A member of the watch who reports to Hijikata. He was an officer of the Shinsengumi as well as a spy. Interesting. He's the Shinsengumi officer and spy, as well as a member of the watch. Despite not living in the Yagi residence, he is aware of my situation. That's random. First, go tell Hijikata that the enemy is meeting at Ikeda. He should still be on his way to Shikoku. And I'm sorry to trouble you with it, but I need you to take this child with you as well. Why? Wait. Yamazaki seemed just as surprised. I paused before thinking about, what's next? I'll go. Why me? Yeah, why? Why me? I feel like if I were to go with him, I'd only be a burden. Why did he choose me? I can't stand the thought of getting in someone's way and being the reason something bad happens. You may be a burden, but at the end of it, you could also save someone's life if you're lucky. Sanan responded while giving me a cold gaze. There may be a Ronin out to intercept you. And besides, there is a chance that Choshu has reinforcements. If your message were to be intercepted, then you will be sure not to reach Hijikata in time. Sanan finished with the soft smile I hadn't seen him use for weeks. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Yes. If the worst should happen, I can hold off any Choshu Ronin and give her the message. What? It sounded as if they were suggesting if things went badly, Yamazaki would sacrifice himself.
もちろん山崎君が失敗するとは思っていませんよ。
Yes, of course I doubt it will come to that.
我々には人手が足りず、君には仕事が多い。会津藩や諸次第への連絡も担ってもらわねばなりませんか。
Sorry, yawn. I don't know why I'm so yawny today. We're short of men right now, which means there's more I need you to do. We'll need to notify the Aizu and Judiciary Commissioner as well. That would have Yamazaki running all across Kyoto. I suppose it really drove home just how thin the Shinsengumi were stretched. And there's no other person that could do this job? What about Shimada? Shimada is another Shinsengumi spy who is trusted enough with knowledge of my situation. Kai Shimada, an officer in the Shinsengumi who also served as a spy. During times of peace, he serves under Shinpachi in the 2nd Division. I see. Sanan shook his head. The Shinsengumi need every single member they can get, and Shimada was with the Shikoku team. Which means that, apart from Yamazaki, I was the only one that could possibly serve as a messenger at the moment.
確か雪村君だったな。護身程度の術なら身につけていると聞いたが。
You're Yukimura, right? I heard you know a little about how to protect yourself. Yes, I do.
残念ながら君の安全は保証できない。それで構わないというのであれば、俺に同行してくれ。
Unfortunately, I can't guarantee your safety. If you can manage, you're welcome to join me. If I tried to run away while we were out, I had no doubt that he would kill me without hesitation. This mission is his priority, not my life. Even so, I'll go. I can take care of myself. You don't need to worry about me. Sanan gave me a small smile. I knew he wanted to join the battle more than anyone, but we both knew that wasn't possible. The least I could do was carry out my mission.
では、総長命令、しかと承りました。
Very well. I accept your request, Colonel. He bowed. Then as he stepped out of the room and turned to me. Wait, he bowed then? What? Okay, whatever. I read it right. It just sounded weird. Run with all your might. I took off after him, my legs working as hard as they could. Susumu Yamazaki warrior record has been released. Huh. Susumu Yamazaki's warrior. That's cool. Also, can I save here? No. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Okay, this one's also a little bit short, but also ha 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 ha. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you everybody for coming out and playing with me. I'm very excited to see what happens in the next episode. I will see you all next time. Bye!